Section 6. Okay. Section 6. This section simply authorizes the central government to delegate the authority or powers of the custom officer to any other officer of the central government or state government. And that becomes necessary. Why? Because custom officer is not there everywhere. Right. Mainly custom officers are at the border, on the sea coast, right? Or at the port, at the airport. They're not there throughout the country. But provisions are applicable throughout the country. So how the government is going to ensure that provisions are actually applied? So provisions are applied this way. So under Section 6, government is authorized to delegate authority of the custom officer to any other officer of the central government or state government. And when the person to whom the powers have been delegated, he is exercising the powers for every purpose, he will be treated as a custom officer. For every purpose, he will be treated as a custom officer. So he is not a custom officer, but he will be treated as if he is a custom officer. So Section 6, point number 1. Central government may delegate role of custom officer to any other officer that may be central government, that may be state government, right? Delegation, this is the word uses entrusting. The word delegation is not there, it is entrusting. So entrusting is slightly much more than the only delegation. So government is keeping a trust and giving him the authority to exercise that powers. Delegation means government gives the responsibility and the right to exercise is given to somebody. So entrusting is a slightly much more stronger word than the word delegation. So this says central government may delegate the role of custom officer to any officer of the central government or state government. When any such officer exercises powers under this act, he is treated as custom officer. For every purpose, he will be treated as if he is a custom officer. So this is one chapter, section 3, 4, 5, 6 under the Customs Act. Prima facie, it is a very small thing, but it is one chapter under the Customs Act. Section 3, categories of officers. Section 4, appointment. Section 5, powers. And Section 6, entrusting of powers to other officers by the central government. Noted?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see here. Section 4, we had seen appointment. Now Section 5, powers. Subject to such condition limitation, the board may impose. An officer of custom may exercise the powers and discharge the duties conferred or imposed on him under the Act. Now see the chart given under Section 5. Check the chart. Number 2. An officer of custom may exercise the power and discharge the duties conferred or imposed under his act or any other officer of custom who is subordinate to him. So officer can also exercise the powers which are given to his subordinate. Number 3, notwithstanding anything contained in the section, a commissioner of appeal shall not exercise the power and discharge the duties conferred or imposed on officer of the customs, other than those specified in chapter 15, section 108. So section 108 is power to summon. Right. So that is the only thing common between adjudicating authority and commissioner of appeal. Otherwise, powers are absolutely different. Section 6, entrustment of functions of the board and central officer. The central board may, by notification of the official gazette, entrust either conditionally or unconditionally to any officer of the central or state government or local authority any function of the board or officer of the customs. So I've forgotten to mention local authority, add that also. The central government can entrust the functions, central government, state government / local authority. Are these provisions clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we move to the next chapter. So this was chapter number 2. See here. Chapter number 2 of the Customs Act. This is not the chapter number 2 of your study material, right? Not chapter number 3. In this, we have section 7 to section 10. Section 9 has been omitted. Section 7, section 8, section 10. So this is another small chapter. So under section 7, this is talking about appointment of the custom port, airport, etc. What is the meaning of the word appointment? The word appointment simply means fixation. This is appointment of various places. Which are those places? What is the purpose? Everything is answered under section 7. Can you see something written on the board now? Or not?
Sir, we can only see the shared screen, not the whiteboard.
Okay, that is not coming to you.
No, sir.
Okay, good enough. So that is understanding for me that how much screen I should use. So here what you see is the shared screen, section 7, appointment of custom port, etc. What I am using the word various places, right? So write the titles of section 7, appointment or fixation of various places. Don't write the word custom port, airport, etc. because that in any case will cover up. What are the appointments? This says the board. Board means the central board. By notification, the official gazette appoint. Number 1, the ports and airport which alone shall be custom port or custom airport for unloading or imported cargo and loading of the export goods or any class of such goods. Then the places which alone shall be container depot at the air freight station and unloading of the imported goods and loading of export goods and class of goods. Then places alone which shall be the land custom stations. The route by which alone the import export goods should be moved. The ports which alone shall be the ports for local and the post offices which are known as the foreign post offices, as well as the places which are international courier terminals. Now see here. Appointment of various places. Which are these places? Number 1, I will say place of import or export. Now, before we proceed, let me ask you one question. What is the applicability of the provisions of this act on a travel of passenger between India and outside India? What is the applicability?
Sir, to the baggages carried by them.
Applicable only to goods.
Yes. Provisions are applicable only in relation to baggage. This act does not deal with the individual. Right? So it is not concerned with who's coming, who's going out. Question is what he's carrying, what he's taking. Right? So to that extent, only provisions are applicable. So when we say places of import and export, so which are these places for import and export? All these three things taken together, these are referred as places of import and export. Import, or you can say unloading of the imported goods and only at this place. Export of the goods only from these places. Attempted import at any other place. Attempted export from any other place, that is a smuggling. Very thin line between the smuggling and import export. If these are the places where from only import and export activity should take place, anything else that will be treated as a smuggling activity. And in these places also subject to proper compliance. Say, for example, some passenger is coming, he is carrying lots of jewelry, he is required to make a disclosure, he does not make a disclosure. So goods are coming through the proper channel, that is custom airport, but he fails to make a declaration. That is also case of smuggling. So not only the places, in addition to places, proper compliance of the provisions is also required. Right. So these are places. So Import export only from these places, cannot be at any other place. Is it clear? Because contravention also you should understand. Import export even done or attempted beyond or from any place other than these three, that will be treated as a smuggling activity. Number 2, container freight stations. So when the quantity of the goods to be exported is small and that is required to be stuffed in a container, then those are separate depots. Once container is ready, then it is sent to the custom port or custom airport. So those places will also be appointed here, because the simple reason is that once container is closed, it is not going to be retested at the custom port or custom airport. So that's why whatever procedure has to be done, that is to be done at this place before container is stuffed completely. Okay. Number 3, foreign post office as well as international courier terminal. Foreign post office, every post office may accept the letter or the document for being sent abroad. But when it comes to actually sending the abroad, it will be sent only through foreign post office. Any article coming by post from outside India, it will come to appointment of. Appointment means fixation. We're not talking about appointment of the officers in these places. No. Appointment means these places are declared by the central board. Right. So what is being declared? So that these declared that this port will be the custom port, this port will be the domestic port. So that declaration is being made here. It is not appointment in, it is appointment of. Is it okay? See the chat box, it's a question there. Neelakandan, your doubt is clear or not? So anyway, so here foreign post office, courier has also been recognized. This recognition has come 3 years before. Earlier it was not there. Of course, the courier was doing the activity of import, export of the things, but now they have a formal recognition under the Customs Act also. So there is a specific place where all the handling of the import, export cargo through courier is handled. Number 4, domestic port airport. Only for domestic transportation. Now it is the responsibility of the customs to ensure that this custom port, custom airport is not used for domestic transportation. And domestic port airport are not used for the purpose of international shipping. So you will find presence of custom department at both the places, at domestic port airport also as well as at international port airport also. But presence at domestic port airport is minimal. They will just ensure that these places are not used for the purpose of import and export, domestic. And these will not be used for the purpose of domestic. So that is the responsibility of the custom department to ensure. Number 5, route can also be fixed by the government. Some gentleman calling, just hold on please. So route I was talking about, when goods are coming to India, those should enter India only through a proper route. When going out of India, again a proper route has to be followed. Otherwise, if the route is diverted, that can also be a case of either smuggling or attempted smuggling. So all these places are appointed under Section 7. Who makes appointment? Central Board of Indirect Taxes. Okay. So all these places are appointed under Section 7. Now, Section 8 is slightly narrow as compared to Section 7. Let me explain you, then we will refer.